In each episode of this series, I will offer an applicant a blind choice of either a pleasant experience, a treat, or a darker trick. They won't know which one they've chosen, and they may not know how or when it will happen to them. All the applicants responded to advertisements. These are the 6 people that I've selected. They just don't know it yet. Welcome to Trick or Treat. Tonight's applicant is Ishani, a 21-year-old student who lives in London. We had her friend invite her to a restaurant in Notting Hill, and we filled the place with extras and hidden cameras.
Can I have the squash soup, please?
Squash soup?
Followed by the spinach and ricotta.
Gotcha.
Hello, Ishani.
Hi.
Hello. So you've applied to be part of the show,
Yes.
and I'd like to say we'd love to use you.
Okay.
Okay. What happens to you depends largely upon your choice of one of these 2 cards. All right?
Okay.
Now, one of them says trick,
Okay.
all right? And one of them says treat,
Okay.
all right? If you pick the treat card, then what happens to you will be something lovely, be something very nice. If you pick the trick card, it won't be. It'll be something that is unpleasant and could be quite dark. Right. Would you like to play?
Yes.
You would? Excellent. So, I need you to sign your contract, which kind of allows us to do anything we like with you.
Okay.
So we take that, have a little read through it, and if you can just sign your name at the bottom for me, that would be great. Just at the bottom would be lovely, thank you.
Made me really shaky.
Lovely, thank you so much. Lovely signature. Okay, so I'll mix these up. I'll ask you to select either one, and you'll do that just by placing your finger on top of either one. So if you could choose one for me. Okay, thank you very much. No, that's terrific. Lovely. Well, you can expect a phone call in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
There's your plate back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll let you know later whether she's picked a trick or a treat. Now, I've always been a big fan of Pop Idol, so I was very excited to learn that Simon Callow had agreed to come on the show. So it's never been here before?
Nope.
Nope. Me neither.
No.
There was a stately home now used primarily as an art gallery.
Yeah, beautiful. Sure.
When we go in, what I've done, I paint portraits, and we've put some of mine up in a room. We'll have a cursory look at them, and then we'll sit down and get into the thing that I'd like to do with you. So,
Awesome.
these are they.
How fantastic. I love you. Awesome.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Yes, indeed.
You just had a new one out?
My friend?
Of course, yes. And your good self over there.
Oh, very nice.
A younger, more beardy incarnation. Actually, don't look at it too much for now.
Right.
I've got a reason. If you take a seat for me.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the reasons why I like painting these things is because I'm interested in, I suppose, in how much we pick up from people's faces and how much we read, in particular from the eyes.
Yes.
Because there's so much that we read from a person and pick up at an entirely unconscious level, just purely from the eyes. And what I'd like you to do is to look at mine, and I will look at yours, and I'm going to try and transmit something to you, which will be a word. I'm going to ask you to sort of relax a bit and put your hands by your sides. Thank you. So it's a word that I'm thinking of, which I'm going to try and send to you. It is 4 letters long. All right? It's not a rude word. It is 4 letters long. And very important that at the moment we just verify that I haven't, until this point right now, given you any indication what we're going to be doing today at all.
None.
So I haven't asked you to consider any words, nor asked you to or put any words in your head, or anything like that at all.
No.
Great. Okay. It's important these things happen right now as we're talking. Good. So if I asked you what the word is that I'm thinking of, it would be impossible for you to know right now unless you just guessed, all right?
Yeah.
But rather than you thinking it is impossible, what I'd like you to do, Simon, is to sort of just imagine, just sort of almost sort of play the role that you did know, as if it was something easy, as if you had the ability to read my mind. So it becomes an easy thing for you, like a game that we're playing. So if I told you, for example, that I'm sending you the first letter now, and I'm concentrating on the first letter of this 4-letter word, and instead of thinking that sounds impossible, you just go for whatever letter feels right, as if you just know the first letter. So the first letter is, what is that?
R.
Ah, very good, exactly. So that's just an easy thing, just comes to your mind without you having to worry about it. So now just start to turn that in your mind into a word. You've got the first letter, and there could be various 4-letter words beginning with R. What's the second letter of that 4-letter word?
A.
No, it's not. Okay, just take a second. Do keep your eyes open, but just reconsider that. So after the second letter of the word, it's not an A, I think you're just perhaps a little quick off the mark. What's the second letter?
O.
O, very good. Excellent. So you've got R and O. Now there are various options, various 4-letter words beginning with R and O, but what is sticking in your mind at the moment? It has nothing to do with the environment we're in, by the way, not that I can think of anything that might be influenced by the environment, not that you'd be aware of at a conscious level. What's
You
the
want
word?
to say the word?
Yes.
Road.
Road. R-O-A-D.
Yes.
As in a street, a road,
Exactly.
yes? Not
Yes.
R-O-D-E, R-O-A-D.
No, R-O-A-D.
R-O-A-D. Now, that word, as far as you're concerned, just popped into your mind as I was talking to you.
Yes.
Nothing you'd considered before.
No.
Okay. And are you aware of anything since we've met that might have influenced you? Just come and have another look at the painting with me, but nothing you're aware of that could have influenced you to choose that word?
No.
Felt entirely fair and free?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't give you much of a chance to look at this earlier on, and I had my reasons for it. If you just come in a little bit closer, I don't know if you can see anything at all strange about it. Can you see just in the eye there?
No, I can't without my glasses.
Put your glasses on. Can you read it?
I can.
R-O-A-D.
Road, it says.
R-O-A-D. It is painted in the picture.
That's extraordinary. That's amazing.
And when you saw the picture just as you came in, you weren't consciously aware of...
didn't
You
have
shouldn't.
my
It's so
glasses on.
faint. No, you didn't even...
Exactly,
So you wouldn't have been
exactly.
able to read it out of context. And that really is something... It's not... You can see it's not stuck on. That is...
That's that.
Oh, fantastic. You've proved a delightful and responsive subject. Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much indeed.
I had a word starting with R. It was actually the word raft. And then it sort of morphed in my mind into a road. He couldn't have got up and done it, for example, since I uttered the word. No, no way at all. It's what it is. It's there, clearly written in my right pupil.
I have Ishani come to meet me so that I can tell her what's in store for her. I know from talking to her that she lacks confidence and is becoming disillusioned with her college work. This will form the basis for her trick or treat.
I'm very up and down with it, between getting really inspired and really defeated.
I need her to forget everything she's learned so far about her own abilities. I can then start to rebuild her confidence and create a real positive state in which she believes anything is possible. Becomes something very powerful. Can you play the piano?
Basic.
Okay. Would you be prepared to embarrass yourself usually by giving us a sort of
try.
shot? Go on. Excellent, excellent. Very good. Take a seat. So 1 week from now, you are going to be giving a concert, a piano recital, at Wigmore Hall in London. But that is the last time you're going to play the piano between now and then, all right? Forget the piano, forget playing the piano, and just focus on the things that I tell you. I have her listen to the piece of music that she'll have to play, and I'm teaching Ishani using 6 or 7 different levels of unconscious learning. So the music becomes something that you feel inside of your limbs, inside your head, along your arms. We continue to monitor Ishani to ensure she's doing the exercises I set her. 1 week from now, she'll have to play at Wigmore Hall, the famous chamber music venue.
I'm really looking forward to it, but the kind of thinking part of me would really like to know what's going on. There seems to be something missing. After the sessions with Derren, I don't really remember that much. I don't really think about it. I really haven't discussed it with my friends. I suppose they're slightly concerned that I'm spending hours with a crazy mind control guy and I don't remember what's happening.
Ishani has returned for her final session with me. In 3 days' time, she will have to play a piece of music at Wigmore Hall. So each line and each space corresponds to a note on the keyboard, all right? And forgive me if you... I start with a rudimentary introduction as to how the notes on the manuscript paper relate to the keys on a piano. The E, I'm going to go F on that. You take a mental photograph of each page. Throughout the session, I continue to use a variety of subliminal techniques to develop her skills. It's just about forgetting everything, forgetting playing the piano, and just allowing yourself, just focusing on that area around your finger, storing and archiving. Imagine yourself on stage with the advantages of a slowed down sense of time. So your own internal process is working so much quicker than the outside. You can believe that it's hopeless and that you haven't got a clue how to play a note. You can believe that if you like, or you can make the choice to allow yourself lost in the music that you're creating. More of Ishani later. We go to Gallagher's Steakhouse in New York. It was one of the first Prohibition-era speakeasies for the gamblers and stars of Broadway. Tonight, diners have been told that there is a camera crew documenting the abilities of one of the waiters who claims to be psychic and handsome. Hi there, how are you guys doing? You ready to order?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, don't tell me what you want, I'm going to try and do that for you.
Oh.
All right?
Okay.
So, first of all, I'm going to put you both down, I think, for the same starter. And I think that's going to be the soup. Yeah?
Yeah.
The main course, I think you're going to go for a lighter option. I don't think there's actually vegetarian there, but I'd put you down, I think, for the salmon.
Yes.
I'm going to put you down for the steak. Yeah, of which there's more than one. We'll go for the...
Gotta do better than that.
hanger steak.
You got it.
How'd you like that, medium rare?
You got it.
Desserts, again, lighter for you. So cheesecake for you. And so either I'm going to go for the custard or the sorbet. I'm going to go for the custard for you, am I right?
Yes.
Excellent. Good, well, thank you. Well, if you don't mind, I'll take this a little bit further. I think you both see yourselves as highly dynamic and charged people, and people that seem to sort of circle the world in a different orbit from the rest of us, and they tend to make otherworldly connections with each other. So I'd imagine one of the things that brought you together would be the fact that you'd be the same star sign. Is that correct? Yeah? Now, it's bullshit, and I don't believe in that, but Pisces, Aries? Aries, Pisces, one of the two? Yeah? Aries, great, okay. Think of something I really couldn't know. Do you have a pet?
Used to.
Used to? Okay, what type of pet?
A dog.
A dog, okay. Can you remember his name? Or her name? Great, okay, just say the name yourself. In fact, just pick a letter somewhere in the middle of the name. All right, I'll just try it with a letter somewhere in the middle of the name. Just look at me and think it's an L. Is that an L?
Yeah.
Yeah? Great, okay, just say it yourself. This is a dog you used to have. Died a few years ago?
No.
No, you've given him to somebody else. Okay, all right. Riley? Riley? Again? Riley, okay. Excellent. And is James proud of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, your father?
Yeah.
You see, what you've learned from him, you've learned a real, a kind of a dislike of authority, dislike of being told kind of what to do, constantly trying to, you have trouble paying your car speeding fines, speeding tickets.
It was like a parking ticket.
Did you get into trouble for it?
No.
No, I can see you not paying parking tickets and getting into trouble for that. When you were young, you did something with your sister. You cut or damaged or something your sister. Was it with a razor?
Yes.
Good, you should call your sister more often. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You should call her. She'll visit more often if you talk to her more. Enjoy your meal. I'll go get you food. Thank you.
The thing is, I didn't pay a ticket, and I lost my license. I don't know if he meant that.
It's the morning of the piano recital, and my first session with Ishani was only just over a week ago. She still isn't sure whether she chose a trick or a treat. Can you play the piano?
Basic.
You are going to be giving a concert, a piano recital. But that is the last time you're going to play the piano between now and then.
Do you know what card you picked?
Do I know what card I picked? I think I picked a treat. I think it feels like a treat so far. If I don't completely go with it, then I know there's even less chance that it's going to work. Yeah. No, it will be fine. It has to be.
Hey, hello, you decent?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to come down and have a quick look at this. You look amazing.
Thank
You look
you.
amazing. How are you feeling at the moment?
All right, a bit shaky.
Okay, yeah, you seem a bit less confident than...
Yeah, it's kind of deteriorated slightly since I last saw you, I think.
Let's go down and have a look at the stage. This is a piano. Have a seat. Just get comfy. No playing. So, just so you know, just to give you a starting point, the first notes of the piece are this C here and this C here. Okay? Now we need to let the audience in because people are already here. They're sort of mingling around in the foyer.
Okay. It just seems insane. I think but either me or Derren or both of us are insane.
Ishani is one of 3 pianists performing today, and we've made sure she goes on first in the concert. How you doing?
Not great.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll just take some time to relax a bit. A healthy lunchtime audience.
I don't think I can do it.
Pardon?
I just don't want to do it. Genuinely.
That nervousness, that adrenaline will, it will aid your performance. You'll be fine. Just trust it. Sit down. Start playing. It'll all come. This is a sophisticated lunchtime audience who regularly attend recitals and are used to a very high standard of playing. Oh, wow. That was amazing.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm really, really shaky.
Come on, let's go and have a drink.
Was that the first time she'd ever played the piano?
Very impressed.
She must have a lot of concentration. She also must be very bright, I would guess.
Simply amazing. I mean, you can't believe that, really. I mean, there'd be questions asked about that, I should think.
Oops. You look like you'd played the piano all your life.
Yeah, it was really strange. I was terrified, but I just really got into it, and it was really fun. It was great. Thank you.
Thank you. And it just felt natural and normal when you were doing it, or were you like, what the hell are my fingers doing? Or
no, it felt like I'd played before.
It felt like you'd played a million times before.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. You did play amazingly, and the real reason why you played amazingly tonight is that you have actually played all your life. You've been playing since you were tiny. You've played all your life, and you are a very good pianist. The reason why I did this was because when I first spoke to you about playing the piano, you told me that you were sort of a little jaded by it, that when you were 7, you were able to play, and it was something exciting and powerful. Yeah, take a drink. Something exciting and powerful and positive, and that as you'd grown up, it'd sort of become something you'd kind of lost that excitement and lost that connection with.
I'm very up and down with it, between getting really inspired and really defeated.
All the practice that I've taken you through wasn't really to teach you how to play the piano in a week. It was to do the opposite of that. It was to undo all the teaching that you had and to make you forget how to play the piano. Forget the piano.
Forgetting everything. Letting go. You haven't got a clue how to play a note. Forgetting playing the piano. Playing the piano. It's not about that.
And when you weren't with me, I always made sure you were unaware of what I'd been doing.
After the sessions with Derren, I don't really remember that much. I don't really think about it.
From now on, every time you sit down in front of a piano and start playing, your mind will take you back to this day.
Okay.
And reconnect you with the excitement that you had when you were 7 that you lost as you were growing up.
Okay.
And that was your real treat.
Okay.
But thank you so much for trusting me and going with it and going out there and doing it, because I know in your head you'd never played before, and that was so brave of you, and you're fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You've got an amazing talent.
Thank you. Since the concert, I've been very, very, very excited, just beaming all the time. The experience has made such a big difference. I had an exam quite recently, and I got the result, and it was much better than I had expected. It's definitely been seen as a positive thing by my tutors.
In each episode of this series, I will offer an applicant a blind choice of either a pleasant experience, a treat, or a darker trick. They won't know which one they've chosen, and they may not know how or when it will happen to them. All the applicants responded to advertisements. These are the 6 people that I've selected. They just don't know it yet. Welcome to Trick or Treat. Our applicant tonight is Anne, a 75-year-old lady from North London. She's travelling on the bus, as she does most days, but today we've secretly taken control of the vehicle. We've wired our recorders into the onboard security cameras, and all of the passengers apart from Anne are actors.
I don't like takeaways, but I like a pizza. Now and again, I do like a pizza.
The driver has been told to leave his normal route and drive to a secluded spot where we have more hidden cameras waiting.
I'll have a look at her and ask her. I won't say anything. What's going on?
Stay where you are.
Nice to meet you, Derren.
Very pleased to meet you. You've applied to come on the show, and we'd love to use you.
Really?
We'd love to use you on the show.
You're picking me, are you?
I'm picking you right now.
God, now my tummy goes.
I'm pleased to hear it. Let me explain how the show works, all right? So listen very carefully. What happens to you on the show depends on your choice of one of these two cards here, all right? Now you'll see one of them says trick on it, and one of them says treat.
Right.
Okay? Now, if you pick the card that says treat, and I'll put them there where you can see them, if you pick the card that says treat, then what happens to you will be something lovely and something you'll really enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you pick the one that says trick, then it won't be. It'll be something a bit horrible. Do you want to play?
Yes, please.
You do? Excellent. Pleased to hear it. So first of all, I need to get you to sign this, which is your contract. That just allows us to do anything we like with you.
You can... Oh. I'm a bit shaky, so you have to...
That's all right. No, you shake away. That's
because
right. Signed by contributor. That's you just there. Thank you very much indeed. That's lovely. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Oh, God, what have I done?
Okay. Let's see what you pick. So, you're going to choose one of these two, and you're going to choose it just by putting your finger on it just for a second. Excellent. Okay. Well, I don't want you to see what you've picked.
Okay.
So if you face the other way and close your eyes for a second, I'm going to show the camera, but I'm not going to let you see for now. Okay. Thank you, Anne. You can look back now. So that's all for now, and you'll hear from us in the next couple of weeks.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
See you soon.
We'll learn more about Anne's treat later on.
You are. I really thought I was being kidnapped, to be honest.
So, despite my winning 3 Olivier Awards and 4 BAFTAs, Madame Tussauds in London still refused to do one of me as if they couldn't melt down Alan Titchmarsh and add a goatee. So, to show them what an asset my presence there would be, I had a go at being a waxwork for a day.
So as you stand there, looking at me, and just with the sound of my voice right there in the centre of your head and floating all the way around you, even though you know that it's just a mannequin, just a doll stood there, you can absolutely imagine that feeling coming from your feet, where your feet are at the moment, rooted into the ground. Maybe you find your eyelids growing heavy and wanting to close, and just allowing yourself to drift away, eyes open or eyes closed, it doesn't matter. And as you listen to my voice and stand there quite still, looking at me there, and you wonder, maybe feel fall over, but you won't fall over. You can stand quite comfortably as your mind just switches off. And it's almost like you become one of the waxworks yourself. And the more you stick, the more you notice how stuck you become. And the more you try in vain to unstick yourself, the more and more that you stick. A relaxed sticking feeling right the way through your arms and your fingertips, right the way down into your feet, rooting them into the floor. Sticking, locking, gluing, gelling, cementing, bonding, fusing and welding tighter and tighter into place as you feel yourself locking rigidly but so comfortably into place, like you just switch off. And the more you try to unstick yourself harder and harder, the more you stick and the more you remain in that wonderfully comfortable stuck state as you wonder just how long you could indulge yourself for. And it feels great, doesn't it?
As I was looking at him, I just kind of got number, and I felt like my body was turning really statue-like hard.
I just kind of felt really sucked in by the lights because they were like whirling around.
We only caught the end bit of it, but I actually started drifting off. But then everything just stopped and it was fine.
It's been 2 weeks since I met Anne on the bus. I've now asked her to meet me at Victoria House in central London.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you,
Nice to
Mr.
see you
Brown.
again, thank you.
Thank
Actually,
you,
don't call me Mr. Brown. Oh, sir's fine.
Anne still has no idea of what I have planned for the next week.
You play a little bit of cards, is that right?
Yes, not anything special. I play brag, rummy, a pontoon.
Okay. Just with friends or
With just my husband and his friend.
Well, a week from now, we're going to enter you in a poker game with some world-class poker players.
Oh, no.
With the idea that you're going to win quite a lot of money from them. So over the course of the next week...
I don't play poker.
I know you don't play poker. But you see, if you did play poker, you'd have a way of playing which would get in the way. I'm going to teach you my way of playing. That's a royal flush.
Oh, a royal flush.
I teach her the rules of the poker game she'll have to play to world standard next week, namely Texas Hold'em. It's important she doesn't become too stuck on learning the rules at this stage, as they'll get in the way of the psychological techniques I want her to pick up on.
Essentially, the structure of the game is sort of fairly simple. The fun starts in terms of how you bet.
Players obviously try and keep their cards a secret, so I'm going to teach Anne some skills at telling what card a person is holding.
Ace, king, queen, jack...
First, I demonstrate by trying to tell her what card she's thinking of. The ability to read physical cues accurately will be invaluable when she's faced with the professional players.
I might give that away, so I'd say it's probably the Jack of Spades.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Excellent, okay. So...
God.
Ace.
Using a friend who's a poker enthusiast to help us out, I ask Anne to try and guess the card he's thinking of just by watching and listening to him.
Well, I'm going to go for spades.
I'm going to go for spades. I'm going to go for diamonds. I think it's King of Diamonds. Was that it? Was that it? Okay.
I'm never going to do this.
Oh, yes, you
Derren.
are. By the end of this, you'll be able to do this. You'll be able to do this like that.
I show her how to create a certain state of mind, one in which she has the confidence to totally believe that she's capable of winning.
Your responsiveness and your receptivity opening up.
Even though she may not understand this process, it is important that she trusts her instincts, in this case, regarding the first card that comes to mind. I haul in our makeup artist and we start again.
9, 10.
Did anything at all occur to you during that, or...?
When she counted 9.
Okay, and the suit?
Hearts.
Hearts. Anywhere close?
8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds. Okay, close your eyes for me. In your mind, you're going to feel that confidence and that openness.
I have Anne refocus and get her to try the exercise again using her heightened receptivity.
Jack, queen, king.
You got one? What was the card?
5 of diamonds.
5 of diamonds. That's really good.
What have you done to my brain?
Great, okay, well, it'd be lovely, if you don't mind a bit of homework, just to have a look at that and just get your husband to test you. It'd be great.
I must admit, I'm a little bit scared because I'm not very good with my memory sometimes. I suppose it's my age, I don't know. But Derren is absolutely marvellous, isn't he? I don't know how he gets to put things in your mind, but he does.
Throughout the week, Anne has been improving her skills by playing a few social games of poker.
Unfolding.
2 pairs.
Oh, well done.
I'm all right, but I'm still a little bit wary of the big one when it comes, when I'm playing professional poker players.
They must recognise her straight away that she can't play, sure.
It's all very well playing at home, but it will be a much tougher challenge against a group of world-class professionals. 2 days later, Anne joins me for our last session together before her big day.
When people talk about keeping a poker face, the idea is they're trying not to give it.
Yeah.
Reading a bluff is one of the hardest but most fundamental parts of poker.
Things that they will do.
There are numerous signs that give away information about a player's hand and intentions.
They're going to try and appear weak. If they've got a weak hand, they're going to try and appear strong.
I have her revisit her state of heightened receptivity.
And your ability to read the unconscious signals that people are giving off amplifies.
It's time now to build on her increased intuitive skills with some more exercises.
You're trying to get all the high cards.
A card will be identified as high, that's an 8 up to an ace, or low, and I get Anne to use her newly amplified intuition to sense a bluff as to whether the card is high or low.
This is a high card.
below.
The cards are then placed face down into 2 separate piles according to her predictions.
This is a high card.
To get her used to reading a range of male faces rather than just mine, I have another card enthusiast try to bluff her as well.
I'll have that one, I believe you.
Okay, let's stop there. So 8 and above, you spread them out on the table.
She turns over the piles she believes to be high cards, and she scores pretty much 100%.
And these are all low. That's really good. That's very, very good.
Despite being confident that Anne has absorbed enough of my skills to compete well in the tournament, I cannot influence the random dealing of cards. So if she gets dealt bad cards on the day, she may still lose. Meanwhile, I'm in Las Vegas, where for some people, poker is an obsession. I pop into a nightclub to chat to some of the locals.
I'm Derren. I'm Derren.
Carolina.
Carolina, very good to meet you. And
Shannon.
Shannon, excellent. And April, very good to meet you. I realise it's a personal question, but if I asked you, is there a belief, either about yourself or about things generally, that you would like to believe more than you do? Something you don't believe, but it'd be useful if you did believe, or...
That I could do better in school. I believe that I could get all my homework done.
But that image is sort of not quite certain somehow. Is that right? When you look at it, it doesn't sort of feel it doesn't feel solid. Is that maybe, and that makes it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So difficult to sort of grasp hold of. Doesn't feel solid. Doesn't feel certain. Okay. Now where do you live? Do you live in?
I live in Vegas.
In Vegas, and so when you think of that, and you think that you live in Vegas, that's solid. All right. So that's a solid picture, and that makes you feel that's definitely live in Vegas. Yeah, that's clear. And the other one is a bit different. Now look, if you take this other image, all right, take the image of you succeeding and doing well, the one that feels a little bit kind of uncertain and difficult, and difficult to grasp. If you move that over here, you take the same image of you being able to succeed and lock that into place, which is just there, isn't it? Now when you look at it, does that feel more certain?
Yeah, it does.
So as you look at it now, that image of you being able to succeed and write your paper, how does it feel when you look at it?
Like clear, kind of very sharp and achievable.
And achievable. Right. Absolutely. And be honest with me, does that make you now feel you believe that you can do it?
Honestly, yes, it does.
See, what's interesting is that little change, which took 10 seconds,
right,
can make all sorts of changes. Little things like that. You plant a little seed and that can make all sorts of changes in your life, which I don't know what they'll be, but I'm sure you'll find out what they are. Let me give you these. Take those for me.
Okay.
Just lay them out for me on there. Excellent. All right, let's move those like that. Will you just tell me what the colours are? Go.
Okay. Blue, green, yellow, red.
Excellent. Now you've done what everybody does,
okay,
which is perfectly understandable. Blue, green, yellow, red. They are, of course, the words, the names that we would normally give those colours. In fact, the situation is more complex. I'm sure you know as well as we all do that that's not actually blue. What it is, it's got a colour or a pigment or an ink that the light bounces off, that absorbs most of the light. The rest of the light hits our eyes. That message gets to our brain. Our brain says, you call that blue. And it's just a word we give to that sort of that light sensation. It's not actually blue. And anyway, who's to say that's blue anyway? Because you've got the weird sort of reflections in the laminate, and one blue could be another person's green. You wouldn't say it was definitely blue, would you? Well, definitely blue, but it's sort of
blue.
It's got different colours in it. Yeah. You could probably see all sorts of other colours in there if you look for long enough. It's not definitely blue, is it? No. Okay, excellent. And what about if I said this one here? You said this was yellow.
Right.
Okay, but again, it's who's to say it's yellow? Would you say that was definitely yellow?
Not really.
Not really. Not
definitely.
Completely. Not completely yellow. There are all sorts of other colours in there. Yeah.
Right.
You might see maybe it could be a little bit orangey. It's quite a warm colour, isn't it? There are lots of other warm colours like, like red or like an orange or something like that. Would you say that was could be red? Could have a bit of red in it, maybe?
A little bit.
It's sort of related to that whole area. Yeah. You could absolutely lock that into place, and you could definitely see that as red, couldn't you? That's red. Yeah. As a colour. If you looked at that as a colour and you had to name what colour that was, what would you say?
I'd say it was red.
You say that was red. Cool. And be honest. So we've got these colours are
a blue, a green, red, black.
Excellent. Okay. Did you say you had your car outside?
Yeah.
Can we just go and look at your car? Is that all right? Excellent. Can you follow us, guys? Where was it?
It's a Hyundai. It looks just like that black car right there.
Looks like the black car just here. Did you say?
Yeah. That's my license plate number. Definitely my car. Now it's black, but that's my car.
That is your car, but that is the wrong colour.
Right color.
That's right. I see what you mean. So is there a car here that is the right colour?
There's a red Hummer over there, but
where's the red Hummer? Through there. Can we see that? There's that red Hummer just there. Yeah.
That is my car, but it's who painted it black though?
Our best friend thinks her car is black.
When it's red.
Everybody can see it's red except for her.
Yeah, that's pretty odd.
The game we've entered Anne into has been sponsored by the international poker magazine Bluff Europe, who are promoters of televised tournaments. The other players know that Anne has been given a crash course in poker, but not by me. They think we're making a documentary about a pensioner who up until a week ago couldn't play poker, and that she was part of an experiment to see if a poker guru, or genius, specialising in reading body language, can teach her to win. The organisers have allowed us to film backstage, so I meet Anne outside the studios and show her to a private room away from all the players. Her husband George has also joined us.
First of all, they said that they may play quite aggressively, and it's often a way that poker players tend to try and intimidate each other. It's by throwing in huge bets right at the start,
Really?
so there'll be a little bit of that going on. Keep that feeling of relaxation and calmness.
Just before the tournament, I have Anne re-engage with her receptive state. This will increase her ability to read her opponent's body language and get a sense of their cards.
Open your eyes. Feel a bit feel nice? Good. I think that's all.
That's all.
As Anne is taken into the studio, we have a quick word with the match commentators about what they think of Anne's chances.
We've got 5 of the best UK professionals around. They've all proven themselves around the globe, and there's a big cash prize for first and second. So I cannot see her even getting close to the top 2 prizes, and I really don't fancy her chances here today.
She'll get good in maybe 2 or 3 years, but it's certainly years, not months, no doubt about that.
Absolutely. I'll be surprised if she even lasts 10 minutes. Hi, and welcome to the Bluff Europe Poker Challenge.
As the game lasted almost 90 minutes, we can only show you some of the highlights.
I'm a professional poker player, and I tend to be a steady player that just tends to win more often than I lose.
Biggest tournament win was in Las Vegas in 2005, where I won 50,000 in the World Series main event.
I finished third in one of the World Series tournaments and got 77,000.
Been playing poker off and on since I was 11 years old.
More than 30 years, so probably since before some of my competitors tonight were born.
Been playing poker? Maybe a week, 2 weeks. Not every day, just now and again.
So, it's a one-table sit and go. Every player sitting down with 2,000 chips.
Blinds start at 25.50, so 40 big blinds each.
10 hands into the game, Anne is still at the table and holding her nerve against the seasoned professionals. Then, as predicted, some of the players started to try and intimidate her by placing large bets.
Nick Presso's gone all in. Let's see if this pushes her out.
In an attempt to score a big win, Nick bet all his chips on this hand. His aggressive play scared off 4 out of his 5 opponents, so it was left to Anne to work out whether he was bluffing or not. She needed to use both her intuition and her observation of his body language. She'd picked up on a tell that made her decide to continue playing and match his large bet.
Call it.
Or a 10.
Call? Yeah.
She's called.
This was her first big risk. If Anne read him correctly and won this hand, Nick was out of the competition. If she misjudged it, it would have cost her almost all of her chips.
So I've got to turn him over?
Yeah. Oh, that's not what he wanted to see.
It was all down to the turn of the next 2 cards. Anne would lose if either of these was a queen or a 9.
Yeah, queen or a 9. No good.
King
And takes a scalp.
But she judged it right, and the first professional exited the game.
Knocks out Nick Pickford's Passat.
Right in.
30 minutes later, and Anne was amazingly still in the game, continuing to win more chips and having seen another 2 poker professionals leave the table. Anne's getting a bit tired now, but she's down to 2 opponents. If she can maintain this level of concentration, she's only a step away from winning one of the 2 cash prizes. Anne has been playing for almost an hour now, and the battle between her and Paul is continuing.
I'm going to go all in.
Paul's gone all in.
Paul had made a major bluff and bet all his remaining chips. To stay in the game and challenge Paul, Anne would have to bet all of her chips too.
Got a hand to cool with.
Paul was unconsciously giving away subtle signs that Anne found easy to read.
Wow, look at Anne's face.
I'll call him, go on.
Yeah, go on.
Look at Paul's face.
Oh,
He's
no,
not happy.
Please don't call me.
Please.
She read his bluff correctly, but she's not safe yet and would still lose if any of the dealer's cards were 10s or 7s.
6, 4, 2, 4,
Anne, flushing chance in the money.
13.
Hats off to Anne.
Oh, things are looking up.
Anne Chance has made the money, knocking Paul Parker out in third position.
Anne was now certain to get one of the 2 cash prizes. She'd been using her new skills perfectly, and with only Jeff remaining, she now focused all her attention on him. It's the last hand, and the game has been playing for 91 minutes. With a pair of aces, Anne felt she had a stronger hand than Jeff, and she was right. The odds were massively in her favour. She decided to risk all her chips on this hand in the hope that Jeff would also do the same.
All in.
Alcohol.
What?
And a call.
Jeff's called.
You maniac.
Okay, cards over.
Anne's gamble seemed to have paid off. She was in a great position to win first prize. Only a 9 would stop her.
I need a 9.
Such bad shape. There's only 2 cards in the deck now that can help him. He's a monster dog.
Classic mistake.
Poor Anne.
Anne had played the hand perfectly. It was just a lucky turn of the card that made Jeff the winner and Anne come in second.
And that's it.
Ah, well.
Cash winging its way over to Jeff's bank account and £1,000 for
She's in the money.
For lovely Anne.
Congratulations.
As you saw in the end, it still came down to a lot of luck. She outplayed me on the last hand and I got lucky.